Hello YouTube. So another teardown time. This is another box from a decca navigation system. This one calls itself a flight log controller, and I found it a bit hard to get good information on decca systems and how they're all wired together, particularly in aircraft. But I believe this sat between the receiver and some kind of mechanical logging recorder, probably something like a chart recorder, which actually drawn a bit of paper with a pen. Now there's some interesting features here. It's got this kind of joystick-like thing, which is quite interesting. Some rotary dials, and this drum, which is quite interesting. Now, if you look in there. So if you see in here, all these are actually little wires, and they go off to some transistors, they go off to some amplifiers inside the box. And this now this drum has several holes in, as you can see, and kind of matching recesses on the end. This end part actually turns around and clips back in place. Now, what I think this is some kind of early programmable device. So I guess you had some kind of rods which fitted down here, and had the lumps on, which engaged with the wires on in the box here. So when this is installed, you can turn it around like that. So if you imagine you had a whole lot of rods with different lumps on in different places, you can see that by turning it round you could kind of change some programming. Now, why is that useful? Well, decca was based on groups of radio transmitters which they called chains, and there were typically 3 transmitters per chain. So of course, being radio transmitters, these things operated on whatever bandwidth was available locally around the world where they were operating. As you move through different areas of coverage, you'd go through different frequencies. So if you're in an airplane or something, you want an easy way to change that so that your logging system could just carry on logging without needing a massive amount of readjustment. So I believe that's what this assembly does, in a kind of very 1960s way. It's quite cool to see how they solved a problem like that. This is a guess, of course. I don't actually know. If anyone does know the exact function of this rotary wheel, or how it fitted into the system altogether, I'd love some more concrete information. So yeah, enough about that. Let's take it apart. And these fancy military ones that screws into the other side. Get them off now. No, there's another one in there. Quite nice little adjustable lights. As you rotate them, there's a little shutter inside which lets out varying amounts of light, so you can adjust all the brightness of the lights in your cockpit not to be dazzling. You quite often see that on RAF military planes, presumably their American equivalents as well. So what do we have inside it? We have a load of wires, we have a very nice big rheostat in there, some relays, a capacitor. Let's take the rest of it apart. extremely heavy, as you can see. Both sides, these very thick slabs of aluminium and very heavy support bars all over. So these are wires for the backlight. I wonder how they did the backlight on here. So this is a fairly standard sort of backlight, little light bulbs, and again transparent perspex front. You've seen this several times on some of the teardowns I've done. Dated 1970. July 2nd, 1970. What does the front look like? Well, it looks like that. So here's the little joystick thing. I want to try and get this out intact because I think it might be quite useful for projects in future. Here is the funny drum thing, which we'll take more of a look at. That's the rheostat and that's the multiple switch. So here we are on the side panels, solid aluminium, pretty robust stuff. They were certainly very concerned about vibration. Little spacer, with its own part number stamped on it. Right, that was a bit of a fight. So, what do we have here? Well, let's examine the components. This is the joystick assembly. So we've got two micro switches per axis. That's very strange. On this one there's 4 micro switches, but only 2 of them are ever used. Not really enough light in here. So only the 2 central ones have enough motion to actuate them. The other 2 are just sat there doing nothing the whole time. I guess they must have had a reason for that. Perhaps there was another model which allowed for greater movement. Still, I'm sure I can reuse that. What's this? This is some control PCB. Got some transistors, some relays. Some resistors, probably a power supply. This must be a smoothing capacitor. What else there? What have we got here? A big multi-way switch. It's very nice. Vitreous glass ceramic rheostat. What value that is? 200 ohms. Well, it might be useful for something. So, this is the drum reader. You still can't see inside it very well. Okay, there you can see. You can just about see the wires inside it. So they all come off on the top side and go to this board, which looks like a little multi-channel amplifier board. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12. All very heavily conformal coated. Very nicely made. The wire, I believe, is sort of Teflon. Certainly feels like Teflon. Seems there's actually a light in this end cap. There's two little wires going on the back, and there's a little slot in there. If you peer in there, there's what looks very much like a light bulb. So guess that served to illuminate whichever control rod was plugged in. So yeah, there we go. What have we got here? Nice bushing. Another piece of extremely high quality military spec navigation gear. Hopefully there'll be some more teardowns on the way soon, so I hope you enjoyed this.